Live from the Rasta Room. It's Friday night. What's up, folks? Welcome to the live stream. We go ahead and share it. That should do it. And I'm going to get back to the chat. 1 second here. Sorry. It's always a little bit of there we go. We got people in the chat already. Fishy Comics. It's Rasta time in T-minus 19 minutes. He always comes early, so that was a while ago. Rasta time in 360 gear. Hey, I'd like to try that sometime. It says I can live stream. I've tried it on the device and on with my phone, and it doesn't. I can't go live. It just never works. It fails every time. But I think I can do it with the software that is on the PC that they gave me. I'll try that sometime for sure. Two-Star Dog is here. It says, Matt has another channel, a secret channel, Matt's Wet Dream, but it's not on YouTube. That's right. He speaks the truth. Two-Star Dog says, bike ride maybe? See you in a bit, Mon. All right. I love a good bike ride, buddy. That's fun stuff. Spock again says first, but he wasn't first. And Fishy Comics says, peace, Matt. Have you heard about the man who killed his wife because she would not stop laughing at him on a cruise ship? I'd say a cruise ship is not a great place to make your spouse angry. Statistically showing. I mean, I guess everybody's relationship different. I don't think I ever have anything to worry about on a cruise ship with my wife. She's a little crazy sometimes, but she ain't gonna kill me. First after you went live. Oh, nice. Okay. Sorry, it took me a minute to pull the chat box up, so I didn't know who was first at that point. But having me a tropical fruity beverage, as usual. Well, sometimes I mix it up, but usually it's something fruity. I'll tell you what it is. Tonight I'm drinking Bacardi Dragon Fruit. Focus there. There you go. Is it focusing? I think so. Yeah, Bacardi Dragon Fruit rum with some back on the diet water, no carb, no sugar, flavored water. This is pineapple coconut. These things are like, sometimes you get them for 50 cents, usually 88 cents, something like that. Very cheap. Good drinks. If you guys like a fruity cocktail, this is the stuff. Have you got a legendary Pokemon yet? No. I've caught a lot of new ones and some pretty cool ones I didn't know existed. Some really crazy stuff lately, and I've been playing a lot more lately. Not a lot still, but usually once a day, maybe twice a day, I'll get on there and look around a little bit if I have a second, just to try to keep up because it's a fun game. I don't want to dedicate too much time to it because I get addicted and lost in the whole world of Pokemon, and I don't have time for nothing else because I'm having too much fun. It is a lot of fun. Try to limit myself on stuff that's too much fun. Get me addicted. Video games are like that. I get hooked on video games. Legendary are only in gym raids. Can't find them in the wild. Wow. Okay. Well, I did do a gym raid, but I think it was before they released the legendary Pokemons, and I've only done one once, and it seemed too easy, and I wasn't sure if I was doing it right. There was a bunch of kids parked in a parking lot. I'd seen them over there with their phones, and I'd seen a gym. I got my game out and seen a gym, and I pulled up next to them in a parking lot, and we raided a gym. I think I joined them. I haven't looked into it enough to fully understand what I'm doing, but does any of you other guys play Pokemon, or have you tried it? You got an opinion about the Pokemon Go game? The game that took over for a minute there. Still a lot of people, like my bro, plays pretty regularly. Excuse me. I have a little frog in my throat. So yeah, it's the weekend. It's the freaking weekend. We about to have us some fun. I hope everybody is having fun and having a good Friday evening. Hope everybody had a good week. Are you filming the luau? Yeah, I think I am filming the luau. I've got too much great gear right now to not be using it all the time and at least practicing with it for stuff like this. I say practice, but the luau video always comes out pretty cool, and it's a cool thing to document. But yeah, I got and I'll show it off here. just because a lot of you guys have not seen this. Really, I haven't talked about it, but I haven't really showed it in use or anything yet, and so I thought I would. This is my new gimbal. This is a Crane M Zhiyun or Zhiyun. It's hard to pronounce. Z-H-I-U-N is the manufacturer, and you can see it's got some like Japanese writings and stuff on the motors. Looks kind of cool if you ask me, but it's got a lot of controls. You got a little thumbstick here, so you move it up and down and all around, and it works really well. It's got like a wide and tie. I think you can zoom in and out with that. If I don't know, I haven't really looked into what that is, but I think you may be able to connect a camera to the actual thing. I know you can connect this to your phone. I haven't tried that either. I've just used it as just a gimbal to see how smooth it is. I just haven't had time to really get deep into this thing. I got it the same day I got the Mavic, so I've been trying to work out kinks on the Mavic, and I'll tell you about my kinks on the Mavic in a minute, but I think I just about got them worked out. But yeah, so it looks like it's not stable. You have to get this thing stable before you turn it on, before, you know, when you hook it all up. It's got all kinds of little knobbies and thumb screws and things. You can move all these things all around to get it perfectly balanced before you turn this on. But the reason why it doesn't look like it is now is because the lens is in. You need to balance it with the way you're actually going to use it, which is on, obviously, and no lens cap. The lens cap actually throws it off, even though it's like it weighs nothing, but this little bit of weight on the end of that thing really throws it off. So now you'll see that it stays in place. It's not even turned on right now. You want it to stay in place before you turn on. That you got it pretty balanced so you don't overwork the motors. Fishy Comment says, congrats, I love the Sony no gimbal needed. Nice. So but this works great. Now I got the camera on, I can initialize this thing. There it goes. And now we are in business, as you can see. Works great. Does some really smooth panning. And then of course my thumbstick, I'm still getting used to it. I think up is a little smoother than down. Down just goes real fast. If you know, you barely go too far on the thumbstick. You've got to kind of, you know, it knows if you're barely pushing it or if you're pushing it all the way, how fast to go. And when you're trying to get a nice smooth shot, like how fast it's going now is too fast, obviously. So if you're trying to get a smooth shot, I can go up on it pretty good, nice and slow. But going back down, it's like a little more touchy and it just wants to go fast. It's hard to get it in that perfectly smooth. I'm still working with it, but it works great, obviously. And this camera on it, I love this camera. This is a Panasonic Lumix LX100 4K. It's just beautiful. It's got the micro Four Thirds sensor in it. Places to go travel. Hey Matt, hey everyone, what's up? How are you? Hope everything's good with you. Just showing off the new rig. This is what I'm going to be using pretty much all the time now. It's just too good not to. I mean, I might use other cameras as backups and things for other angles or whatnot. But yeah, this thing is the business. Did you use the gimbal in Kentucky? Noticed some really great shots in those videos. Yeah, I used it pretty much all the time. There's some footage from a GoPro, like when we went down the log ride. I had a GoPro, obviously. I couldn't get this wet. When I had the kids running through the playground thing, the splash zone, they had a GoPro, so that's real shaky. But yeah, all the rest of it's on this. There's still some shakiness in there. I'm still getting used to using this. There's certain things I was a little too harsh because I was like, you know, it looks great. So I'm like looking at it filming, you're like, oh, that's perfect. I can just, you know, whatever, it's going to be smooth. I don't even really need to try. But you do need to put a little bit of effort and really, you know, slow yourself down to get this thing to work good. There's some shots that, oh, my battery's about to die. Turn this thing off. There's some shots that I really did try and looked fantastic. And there's some shots where you could tell I wasn't trying, and I know from watching the footage which ones were which, and you can see the difference. There's some of them that I did get a little too jittery, I'd say. I wouldn't say shaky or anything, because it's really hard to get shaky with a gimbal, especially one this nice. But I still would move too fast or whatever, and it'd get a little wobble in it. Hi, girls, Josh says.
Hi, it's just me.
Just you? Is Jasmine still here?
Yeah.
I thought we seen her back there. Yeah, she's getting ready to leave, though.
That was me.
So you had a good week, Rhea?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to tell everybody what big thing you did this week?
I started school.
He went back to school. Summer is over. It's kind of a big deal, right?
I like school.
I know she was excited and could not wait to go back. Weird kid. But you liking it so far?
Yeah.
I think it's different with her than it was for me because I always changed schools. I moved so many times as a kid that it made it depressing and it wasn't fun at all. She has been in the same school for a few years now and has all the same friends.
This is my third school.
This is your third school, but you've been at this one for 3 years now, right?
No, this is my second year.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because you did start it. But a lot of your friends came from another school. They opened a new school, and a lot of the kids from her school went to, including her, to the new school because it's closer. But Gabe got a guy teacher. He's excited. Wow, that's pretty fun. But not too many guy teachers. I always love the guy teachers. They seem to always be less bitchy. No, guys seem like I don't know, they're more laid back most of the time. If a guy goes out of his way to become an elementary school teacher, he's usually a laid back guy. You know what I mean? Where girls just love kids and are like, I'm gonna get, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think that the thinking behind becoming a teacher is different for guys and girls, probably. It's my guess. I could be wrong.
I've only had a guy teacher for a half of first grade.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the only time.
But you like your teacher now?
Yeah.
He was worried she was going to be mean, right? You
No,
heard some rumors?
Yeah, I heard some rumors in fourth grade. But
Yeah.
no, she's. I think she's the nicest, but nobody will admit it.
She's the nicest, but nobody will admit it. She's big on reading, and her teacher loves to read herself and is big on reading. And so I think Laria will fit right in there because Ria's the same way. She reads big chapter books by the fistful. Like it's no problem, right? You blow through them things. She loves to read. You'll find her a lot in her bedroom, laying on her bed, reading a book all the time. She's her thing, which is great. I think it's great.
This year we're writing our own books.
Ooh,
with
that's
a hardback cover.
No way. I did that one time with a hardback, and I won. They entered it in a 4-H contest, which I wasn't part of the 4-H, but they had a book writing contest for our grade level, and I got a blue ribbon for from 4-H for my book, like for my grade level.
Just Jasmine right there. Just there. Goodbye.
That basically means first place. So my book won first place for my grade level at that school or whatever. It was kind of cool. It was, if I look at it now, and I might even have it somewhere, it's very crude. I think I was in 4th grade. And it's very crude. I illustrated myself, and I thought I was a great artist and inspired to be a great artist. But in 4th grade, you're not. You know, it's really hard to tell what's going on in the book now, looking at it now. But there's a story to it, and I think because it was a real positive story is why I got the blue ribbon. It wasn't because of my skills or anything. Maybe my storytelling skills, because there was a good story to it, but the illustrations were bad and the handwriting was bad, and it's all you write it. You know, they use real book pages, and it looks official. It looks really official. But when you open it up, it's what I drew on the page. There's one copy. It isn't mass produced or anything. It's just my.
That's where I got my bad handwriting from.
There's no typing in it. There's nothing. It's just my handwriting and my artwork. Is that what yours is going to be?
We're typing.
Oh, you're typing? Yeah, because it's the new generation now, right? It's the future.
So there's Jasmine.
Come here, Jasmine. Come say hi to the fans.
They can't see it.
There you are.
There.
We don't get to see Jasmine very often.
Often.
How do you like your what? What, I say it wrong? You're always clowning me.
Often.
So how was your first week back?
Good.
Good. You like it?
Jump. So
you got some friends in your class? People you're excited to be in the same class with? They're never in the same class, by the way. They separate sisters usually, unless you request them to be together. There are some twins. Yeah. What, in your class?
Yes, there's.
And they're put together. Their parents wanted them together. Yo, hey girls, having a great summer so far?
Yeah. No, kind of, because it's not summer anymore for us.
Yeah, it's not summer break anymore, but it's still summertime. It's still beautiful out. Yeah. They really have acted like it's over because they're back at school, which they're not depressed over. They love school and they're happy to be back, but they're like, yeah, but summer is over. So They have a swimming pool in the back, and they haven't got in it in forever. They don't care if I tear it down. I asked them if they wanted me to leave it up and clean it out, or clean it out and put it up for the year. And they're like, you can put it up. I think we will leave it up though, just because it might get hot still. I'm worried it's going to get super hot, and you're going to be home for the weekend and burning up and asking me to play in a sprinkler because the pool's put up. It's not a big pool. It's a kiddie pool. It's pretty big for them.
It's like,
way bigger than kiddie pools I had when I was a kid. Those little plastic things. This is like it's like a 10-foot wide.
Yeah, 10 foot wide and like
2 or 3 feet deep. Yeah. Not 3. It's got to be about 2 foot deep.
Yeah, 1.5 foot deep.
Yeah. But you guys had a great summer, right? They just got an extra vacation. Not only did they get to go on a cruise out of the country, which is nuts for somebody their age. I never thought, my kids would be able to say that at that age. You know what I mean? Like I never could say I went out the country till my honeymoon. I was in my 30s. Yeah, I've been to a lot of states, but never out the country. But these kids are little and have been like to 3 other countries. That's pretty neat. But then we went to Kentucky Kingdom, which did you guys enjoy that?
Yeah.
I love Kentucky Kingdom. It was too hot. It was the heat index was right around 100 degrees both days. The second day was a little worse than the first day, probably 3 or 4 degrees worse. And it was miserable. The second day, I haven't talked about this too much on YouTube. I've talked about it on my Facebook, if you guys follow me on Facebook, but or not really follow me or friends with me, because I didn't really talk about it on my Matt's Big Dream account, just my personal account I've vented. But that second day was a Saturday. We went a Friday and a Saturday. We bought 2-day passes, so we prepaid for the second day. And the second day was, like I said, a little hotter than the first, but super packed because it was a Saturday. And on top of that, they had, maybe because of how hot it was and how many people were there, they had a power outage, but only in like half of the water park. That was a big deal because everybody was at the water park. We tried to stick it out in the regular park because it was shorter lines, because everybody's at the water park because it was so hot. But it's so hot that you got to go there too. I'm like, my kids are dying. I can stand it, but I'm barely, able to stand it. I'm drinking tons of water and just dying. But I want to let the family relax in the pool. So we're like, let's just go to the pool and deal with the crowds. But then we get over there and it's okay right in the beginning. And then they're like, yeah, there's a power outage. Actually, my wife and daughter went to get something to eat because they hadn't eaten all morning. And they went and stood in line for like 20 minutes, these long lines by the pool, at the restaurants by the pool, because it's so packed over there. And they about 20-minute line. They finally get up there, and right when it's their turn, everything goes out. And they're like, sorry, we can't serve you because we have no registers or nothing. So they were so mad, and they had to go pretty far across the water park, across the other side of the park, to be able to get something to eat or anything like that. We had bought these refillable beer cups. You pay like $11 for a cup of beer, and then you can go get it refilled for like $7. Well, you couldn't get it refilled because that place was out of power too. There was another place that served beer, but it was way on the other side of the park, not near the pools. So if you're swimming in the pools, you're going to have to go take a hike for a half an hour to the other side and back to get a beer. So it was rough, and we left early, and we complained, and we got free tickets. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Mommy told you?
But it has to be by this.
It has to be this year. We may not use, I don't know. We're going to try to use them, especially since we complained so much. My wife was emailing them going, come on now. We complained on the way out, and they were just like, sorry about you. We'll try to get the power on later. They said, we'll stay open an hour later if we get the power on. And we're like, but we have to drive back to Indianapolis. We can't stay an hour later tonight. They were already not closing until like 9 or something. And so they wouldn't close till 10. I wouldn't get home till like midnight. I'm not keeping my kids out till midnight because you guys have a power problem. We have to go. And we couldn't do much because it was so packed. I posted a picture on before we left, before we left, I took a picture of the wave pool, the big wave pool, which is a huge, huge wave pool, and the kiddie park. Because the kiddie park was still working, and there was a lot of rides and pools. There was another wave pool that was out. There was half the water park was out, and they were just shutting it down because they didn't have filters or anything running. And so people crowded to the other sides where it did work. And so the kiddie park for the kids, splash zone little thing, was packed full of adults. I mean, it was just shoulder to shoulder in the whole splash pad kiddie pool. And I took a picture of it because it was nuts. I didn't get in it because, I mean, it's for the kids. Let them cool off. I mean, I know it sucks for us adults, but put your kids first. And you're not putting my kids first if you're, you know, got you and all your friends and brothers and sisters and other grown people in the kiddie pool that you're not even really supposed to be in. People can go in there with your, if you have toddlers, you can go in there with your kid to supervise them or whatever. But I'm talking people, it was full of adults having fun in the kiddie pool. It was nuts. And then the wave pool was just shouldered. It was like you couldn't see the water anymore. It was so many people. It was a sea of people. It was nuts. We actually got in there, and it got really crowded while we were in there. Hey, Pixies. Pixie Channels is here. Places to travel said, I never traveled as a child. In fact, I worked my tail off until I was 30 and did not travel at all. That's why I'm fanatical about seeing the world now. That's awesome. I got to a little bit and just tastes of it here. I didn't grow up in a wealthy family or anything like that that could afford to go travel the world or anything like that. When I was really young, I remember going to amusement parks close by. But I just got lucky where I had like an uncle who moved to Texas when I was a kid, and I got to go down there visit him. My grandma moved to Florida, and I got to go visit her. Basically, you come up to visit, and I get to ride back down and stay in, you know, her place in Texas and go to the beach. Lucas is here. You know what, guys? I've been doing this lately. Excuse me. Been forgetting to share the link. Let me share the link in case anybody wants to join. If you do, click on that, and it should let you come into the live stream live with me. But yeah, so I had some family in Kentucky. My stepmom's family lived in Kentucky, and I got to go down there a few summers in a row when I was a teenager, 13, 14. A lot of fun. And so I got to travel some of the United States a little bit and see other parts of the United States a little bit, and it got me addicted to it. So when I became an adult, I really wanted to. I couldn't afford it when my 20s. But eventually, you know, me and my wife got married and got to the point where we could afford to start going some places, and we both love to find new places. There's places we went back to because we loved it so much, but we were always trying to go somewhere we haven't been. That's my favorite thing about traveling is discovering new places and just seeing things you've never seen or never would see if you didn't just get up and go. Showing off a baby. So this one's addicted to baby dolls still. She's got like 4 baby dolls that are very meaningful to her. But this one is so meaningful, and the other one's got the other one. They're twins because she bought these herself. She bought her own babies because we would refuse to buy them. That one looks like, doesn't that over here look like, right here, looks like Michael Myers? Looks like Michael Myers, the baby doll. Let me see that. What's his name? Is his name Michael?
Owen.
Owen? He looks more like a Michael, Mr. Myers, Michael.
And then this one is Rachel.
But yeah, she bought them herself. And this one's Rachel. So Owen and Rachel, they're twins, but they don't have like rhyming names or nothing. They're very cute. They look real, don't they? They're like reborns. They're like the silicone baby dolls. How much did you pay for these twins?
$137.
$137 for those 2 babies. Because they are handmade silicone, real-looking dolls. Which you say real-looking, that look like Michael Myers. No, they're cute though, and she loves them to death. She treats them like real babies. She's always had a couple, Roger and John, which Roger's a girl.
They're asleep.
They're asleep. They're her original baby. She's had them for years, and they're big baby dolls, huge bald-headed baby dolls. Look, Lucas Thornton joined the live stream. Come on.
Hey man, we got some blueberries up in this house.
No volume. Is it me? I can't hear nothing.
You can hear me?
Can you guys hear him? Get in the chat if you can hear him. By the way, Places to Go Travel says some very poor background. Travel was limited to visiting relatives. Fond childhood memories, but I'm with you with the new places. There's nothing as fun and exciting as exploring somewhere new. I agree. That's it. That's what it's all about. It gets me going. Somebody tell us, can you hear Lucas?
Can you hear me?
I was just listening to music before the live stream, so yeah, you can hear him. Well, what the heck? Whoa.
That's a lot of cash.
Flashing the dough. I can't hear him. What is going on? Why can't I hear him?
Like up there it says X on the microphone. Look up there.
That's when you want to mute your microphone so they can't hear you.
Oh.
I don't get it. I could always just turn the live stream.
Microphone.
That's when you want to mute your microphone so they can't hear you. You guys hear that echo? Sorry.
I think it echoes Dixon.
I could always just turn the live stream. That's when you want to mute your microphone so they can't hear you. You guys hear that echo? But I'm still not. I didn't hear Lucas in there.
Hulk smash.
You can hear Lucas?
What is that?
Naughty kitty. I just got done fist plunging the old baby chamber. About to give the old baby button a blasting. Oh, this better not be bad. Look, hey, naughty kitty. I don't know who you are, but if you're going somewhere dark, please look. I got two 10-year-olds, cute little girls in the live stream.
Not very cool.
Lucas, I can't hear you. I don't know why.
Yeah, why was still? I mean, I can hear myself because I'm Luke, you know. I don't know what it is, dude. Let's try again.
He's frozen and he's gone. Sorry, guys. Okay.
What's wrong?
You guys hear me still?
Oh. Can you hear me now?
I
Good.
can't hear you, Lucas. It might be me.
Oh my gosh!
It might be my crappy system doing something wrong.
My brother.
I muted you, but now it won't let me unmute you. Whoops. Well, that's weird.
Can you hear me now?
There it goes.
Broad Drones. Hey, Matt. What's up, Broad
Can you hear me now?
Drones? Sorry, we're trying to get this. Okay, we unmuted him.
Hello?
Still can't hear him.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, you guys can hear him, though? You guys can hear, not me, you guys can hear Lucas, who has joined the live stream with us. Do you guys see him down there?
You can't hear me. No. I'm going to keep talking until you can hear me, okay? You can't hear me.
Look, hey, look, that's you right there. They can hear you on YouTube. It's mine.
Awesome.
It's something over here.
I'm going to keep talking until you can hear me, okay?
You can't hear me. I can. Hey, look, that's you right there. No, that's not. I was playing that. That was playing on YouTube. I can't keep that playing. It'll just echo me over and over. I still can't hear you. It's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to figure it out. I don't see what the problem is. Communications. Oh, are my wireless headphones picking up the signal or something? No, I don't think I should be. Let's try that. Oh, did I fix it?
You fix it?
Yeah!
Woo! Yeah, baby.
I think what's happening, I think my Bluetooth headset is upstairs turned on. I left them on last night, and yeah, I think it connected automatically.
Your Bluetooth blew up.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It didn't connect to the computer itself. It connected to Hangouts. Like when I went to Hangouts settings and looked for what speaker was coming through it, it was under my headset. But when I play YouTube and stuff, it comes through my computer speaker. It's weird.
These things are too smart, dude.
I guess.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, we're doing great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. I'm on some sick, crazy diet my wife put me on because I'm fat.
Oh, dude, I need to be on it too. Honestly, I just went and weighed myself for the first time in like 3 or 4 weeks because I've just been off the diet real bad. I mean, I've been eating donuts in the morning. I've been all the way off the diet. And sometimes I get in that mood like, I just don't care. I'm hungry. And I weighed myself, and I haven't gained more than like 2 pounds. I don't know how. I'm like, well, okay, I guess I can. I'm still way overweight. I still need to lose a lot. But I thought I would be like way back where I started before I started dieting last time, and I'm not. I'm surprised. I am working a lot and doing a lot, so maybe I'm just balancing it out with a little bit of exercise.
Hey, man, keep going, dude. Keep doing it, man. Like, whatever it takes. I went to the gym yesterday and got my second chest workout from the past 2 weeks because 2 weeks ago on Monday, I had my first chest workout. It's been a while, right? And I went in there like I was Arnold Schwarzenegger and I was grunting and all that good stuff. And, dude, about 3 days later, I couldn't lift my arms and I couldn't even get out of the bed.
Yeah, it's always those next few days that are rough, man. I've done that where you're just like noodle arms. Like, oh, I can't even just lift a pencil would be too much for me right now. I get it, man.
It was bad, man.
But you got to break them down, build them up, right?
You got to break them down so you can build them up.
Yeah. I need to get on a strict diet, though. That'll help me a lot.
Man, I tell you, dude, I used to have rock hard 6-pack abs, and I used to be, but that was used to. I don't know more.
Yeah. Dude, I'm way out of shape. I never had no 6-pack, but I used to be real thin. And I had some big arms back when I used to install carpet back in the day, and that'll put some muscle. Right. But yeah, I've gotten way out of shape. I need to get back into. I've really been motivated lately, though. In the last year, off and on, I've really been motivated to like finally take control of that part of my life and just like really get healthy.
You should vlog it, man. What you should do, you should go to the gym and do a vlog of your body transformation. That'd be really cool.
I've thought about it. You know what I've thought about doing? I've thought about filming it, not vlogging, not putting it out, filming it in depth, taking my shirt off and showing how big I am and everything, which is embarrassing as hell to me, but really just do it, but not put it out there until I completely transform into, get it under control and get, and have my own story.
That's right.
And to either put out in one way or another as a vlog or a whole thing, or to sell. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whatever products you're using or whatever diet you're on, there's something or somebody out there that wants to exploit that and sell that. You know what I mean? Because mostly what I do is keto stuff. So if there's a keto company that's selling keto food or promoting keto diets or whatever, and I have this film of me getting, getting my weight,
they'll buy it.
Right? They'll buy it.
Yeah. Of course they will.
But
no more blueberries. Hey, dude, this is going, since we're friends, we can talk about number 2, right? So here we go. So when I eat blueberries, it helps my bowels.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Like cranberry juice, things like that. But I guess blueberries is another one of them secrets.
I have got very, very lethal IBS, like really bad. Like when I was dating, before I met Brianne, of course, like I used to, I used to have incidents, and I'd be like, man, I gotta go. And the girls that I were dating were like, man, you're stupid. What are you talking about? And I almost want to like bust up with me because of my busted bowels and stuff like that, But Brianne, she was the girl who saw light at the end of the tunnel. She got me a little bit of help and stuff, and got me on the right kind of diet and stuff. So I'm 100%, dude. Like, I'm feeling a lot better. I still got it. Don't get me wrong. Every now and then I get attacked by the Satan that's in my stomach. But like, dude, she's helped me a whole lot with it.
Oh. Nice. Hey. I've never had problems with that, but I do have a weak stomach, and I've gotten food poisoning a few times and in my life, and I get it pretty easy. I can eat the same damn thing that everybody else ate. We can have pizza from Pizza Hut, and everybody ate it, 10 of us, and nobody else is feeling sick at all, and I'm in the hospital.
I hear you. I hear you, man. I hear you. I know I know what's up. I've done that too. You be hugging the porcelain goddess for a couple hours after you get back, you know.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, every single time I have Golden Corral, I get diarrhea before I even make it home. Every single time. It's
I'm there, bro.
And I'm sick after that. It's like I get, you know, and it's all these people, you know, it's a buffet, so you know how it is. And it's either people's germs or the people making it, not cooking things, something. I don't know what it is. I tried to get different things. I'm like, man, last time I got that macaroni and it was diarrhea again, I'm gonna avoid the macaroni, you know. And
I'm there.
Every single time. So I'm done. I am done with Golden Corral. Their food tastes delicious. I love it.
Yeah.
I love going to Golden Corral. I love getting all you can eat, especially when I'm not on the diet and all the kids, we're up there getting desserts and getting 3 plates and all this. I love it. I love food. But
it's the Bronze Corral.
After that.
It's not golden. It's the Brown Corral.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's like Golden Streams, but coming out the wrong way.
Man,
back door.
Man, I tell you what, brother. You know, it's funny. You know, the kind of foods that you do eat, though, coming from a serious standpoint, has everything to do with the way your stomach feels and stuff. And I was doing some research. I was reading some research this morning, and dude, check this out. Like when you go out and start driving or whatever and stuff, look at all the fast food establishments. Look at all the places to eat. You'll see one thing in common, and what that is the color: yellow, orange, and red. Every one of them is the same color. Tell me a fast food restaurant that doesn't use some way or another to incorporate those colors.
Taco Bell.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Maybe the bell is yellow. Is the bell yellow? I guess that's still.
Yep.
Steak and
yellow and red.
Steak and Shake. No, they still got it from red in there, I think.
Red. It's a combinational thing.
Yeah.
Burger King, McDonald's, Hardee's, Carl's Jr., Sonic, they're all, and that color has been proven statistically to incite hunger, and it does.
Weird.
It's crazy. Like, I didn't believe it, but I started researching it, and I was like, wow, that is pretty true, and it makes you sick to your stomach. But if you ever start getting on a whole food diet, which I've been on it the past, I say, week or so, if you truly are eating whole foods and no preservatives, you will be full by probably half of the food that you normally would put on your plate. You're like, oh, I'm done. I can't eat no more because it's so full.
Now, have you ever heard of eating things that improve your gut flora?
Yes.
I've been researching that a little bit lately, and it's very interesting, but I think I need to do some of that because I've never paid attention to that. And that's something that all the things they say that are good for it, I was like, I never eat that crap. You know what I mean? I know it's like a lot of weird stuff like kimchi and stuff that's good for it and stuff, but even regular things, it's just good for your digestion. I don't eat enough. And they say
exactly right.
Once you get that under control, your immune system works better and everything is working better.
So true. Dude, it's so much better for you. And when you start, and another thing that has been tried for the last, since mankind has been around, it's nothing new, and it's kind of disgusting to talk about, is getting a colonic.
Really?
Like, yeah, dude, no joke. Like, it's probably one of the most, and it helps out with like potential spores and stuff like that will develop in the large intestine. What happens is they, fill your large intestine all the way around your abdominal region, the whole thing, with warm like a saltwater saline solution or whatever. And what it does, it breaks down all the excessive waste that accumulates inside of your large intestine. And that's very good because, a lot of us men that are like, 40 and 50, something 60 years old, that's the time we start, having problems with our what's it called? Cancer and stuff like that. And what it does is it not only helps and prevents, but it shines a light where a light needs to be, in case you do have issues.
Literally.
Yeah, there you go. Shine the light, baby.
No, I mean, it just sounds so unnatural to me. Like, no,
dude,
history, there was no. I mean, you can't tell me that back in the old 1400s, which is not that long ago. I didn't even go all the way back. I'm just saying, like 1400s, there was people. When you go back all the way to like caveman days and stuff like that or whatever, that was not people never need. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a natural way to. I don't know. It might be good. It might be good. I just don't. I don't know.
It's basically an enema. I mean, but like a lot of people think that you can go have a water enema done, and it's only going to get a small portion, and it will. But if you truly get a medicated, clinically proven by a physician, a water enema, a colonic, what's going to happen is it's going to rid you of so much waste that's in your guts that never really moves out. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have a very, very bad case of the diarrhea. You know what I'm saying and stuff. But it's a very
just go to Golden Corral and it solves the problem.
Trust me, you got a couple wings just hanging up in there, man, along with Hulk's hand.
This reminds me of the Nutty Professor. Yeah. You need to get your colon cleansed.
I mean, it's crazy, but people do it, man. It's insane. Like sometimes before women have babies, they'll have it done because, like, if they're giving childbirth, they'll accidentally, poop themselves as they're giving get rid of. That happens all the time. It's crazy, and they'll have an enema done before, so it cleans you.
Yeah, no, it can be bad. They say I've been through that the childbirth situation before, and I know that it can be rough. Like kids can get diseases and all kinds of stuff from it. I mean, it's not good.
It's science, baby. It's science, medical science.
So it just comes out clean. It's like changing your oil, huh? It's
what
like
they do.
Your oil change it is you ain't changed it in like forever, and it's way past due. It's all black and burned up, but you get it. It's like coming out clear when it's new.
You've got to watch it. You got to watch one online. I know it's kind of nasty to watch and stuff, but they have a hose that you can see all the remnants of things that's already been that'll come right out of you. Not even kidding, and it's very uncomfortable, but it's sound because it cleans you out.
But what if all that shouldn't be? What if some of that stuff is good for you? What if what they're cleaning out is maybe it's not natural. Maybe it's stuff that they didn't realize. Oh, you need that. That's part of that gut flora. That's breaking down other stuff.
No. Listen, dude. It's a very tried. Okay, what it does. They lay on your back and they ram it up your. You know what? And it fills your gut up with water. And then when it goes to the extent that it needs to go to, it levels off. And then same tube that's located somewhere it shouldn't be, back through this machine, and it empties out, in the drain or the sewer and stuff. And what comes out, if you got like blood and stuff coming out, then there's a serious issue there. I mean, because that's going to be more of an internal problem, and that'll be cancer more than likely. But, everybody always talks about having hemorrhoidal and stuff like that and everything. And I was in nursing school, so I know a little bit about it. This is ridiculous. But the hemorrhoids typically are located on the outer region of the around the outer part of the excretion tool thing, whatever. Yeah. But it's not more internal. It's more external. That's crazy. Whatever.
Yeah, I need another drink for that.
What a conversation! Where did this happen? Give me some of that.
You never know what to expect here in Matt's Big Dream, guys. We took
over there drinking all that vodka, and I'm here freaking eating blueberries.
Now this is rum. This is dragon fruit.
Whatever. It looks clear to me.
It's clear. It's clear rum. It's the white.
Yeah.
Whatever. Dragonberry, not even dragon fruit. Yeah.
Hey, have you ever had the Kraken rum?
No, it looks good. My brother's a big rum fan, and he gets that expensive stuff once in a while. He's a connoisseur of alcohol, and he's told me it's pretty good, but I haven't tried it.
I've my wife tried it one time. Believe it or not, I don't drink liquor, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And she said it tasted good.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
Does she drink?
Not really.
Yeah, just once in a while, I'll taste it kind of thing.
Exactly. She has a couple stories that she should probably tell that's pretty funny about being empty stomached one time, you know what I'm saying, and drinking a little bit of a rum and Coke and not realizing the effects of what alcohol would do. And
no, it's easy to forget that you haven't eaten nothing in a little while, and it's so much different than just having a big meal. So much different.
Yeah, so true. So true. Alcohol will. I mean, it's funny. Drunkenness is not good, I don't think. I think, but like celebrating things like that, you go back to the Bible and stuff, and Jesus turning the water into wine. He didn't turn the water into grapefruit juice, okay? It's wine. It's a word. It's yeah. So, I mean, when you have a party, you want to have the wine and stuff. You want to have a good time and enjoy yourself. If you sit around and literally drink grapefruit juice like you drink beer or something, you'll get sick, you'll die. I mean, you can't do that. The alcohol is what dilutes the sugar, and it makes it to where you can consume more of it. Everybody knows that.
And a lot of reasons back in that time why wine was so popular was because water was poison.
Yes.
Clean water was so hard to get that fermented alcohol, fermented wine was safer to drink.
So true.
Do what you got to do. But I was raised. My mother was a bartender when I was growing up. Yeah. My aunt owned a bar, and so we're just lucky we're not all alcoholics. You know what I mean? And we just drink, but none of us ever get drunk. Very rarely, once in a while, somebody in the family like, oh, they had a bender there tonight, got a little too much. But usually, me and all my brothers and all of us will drink and have beers together or have a couple drinks or whatever, and none of us get drunk. You know what I mean? We never more than 3 or 4, and it's like, okay, I'm done, you know.
Oh yeah, there's so many stories. Wow, that I could tell. Wow, oh, it's been a crazy life. I'll say that.
So did you drink at one point? Was you a big drinker at any point in your life?
Not really. I was at a party a long time ago, and I had never drank beer before, and I thought you could drink beer like, I was very oblivious to what alcohol is and what it does. I just said, okay, cool, I'll grab it. So I was drinking a Blue Moon, right? Beer. Yeah. I drank about half of it, and I had never drank before. I had no clue. And then all of a sudden, I felt like I was in this another world, and just like you just like, what's going on and stuff, and everything's slow motion, but it's not, and you have no control, and you're just very, 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 what's the word? What's the word, man? You're paranoid. Really? Yeah, about everything. And you're I was
hoping you were going to say that. It sounded like it's where you were going, but it's usually I go the other way with alcohol. Like there's some things that make me paranoid. Alcohol makes me, they call it liquid courage, and that's how it is for me, liquid courage. Like, I don't care about nothing. I mean, especially if I'm in the right. Like, I'm totally allowed. Like, you go to a football game, and they're selling beer, and 2 hours over, it's a cop, and you're like, what's up, cop? You know what I mean? Because you don't care anymore. You don't care. When you used to be like, let's not mess with that cop. He carries a gun. You know what I mean?
There's a cop.
Yeah.
There's a cop.
But I know that I'm allowed to drink. I know that I'm allowed to yell at a cop and say hi. You know what I mean? It's like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Give him a high five.
I get.
It doesn't matter.
I've gotten paranoid before, but not usually when I'm drinking. It's the opposite, and that's one of the reasons I like to have a couple of drinks when I'm doing the live stream, because I relax and I talk, and I'm just like, I'm not worried about what anybody thinks. You know what I mean? It kind of releases the it releases the inhibitions for me.
Everybody needs a release, and what's sad is a lot of those people out there who preach so much or teach so much hate against those who do consume alcohol, and they call them a certain type of people and this and that and stuff, and they're missing out on a very crucial relationship that could be had there because somebody has told them one part of their life that it's just evil to consume an alcoholic beverage, and I don't understand that.
Dangerous. I get it. I mean, it can be abused, and it is abused, but I think a lot of that comes from how I don't know how it's treated like it's such a bad thing. It makes people want to go deep with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like if you didn't really there's a lot of things out there that are dangerous, but because you jumping off a bridge with one of those parachutes, base jumping or whatever, it's a pretty dangerous thing, and some people do it illegally. But how often does that happen?
Exactly.
Because anybody could just go out and do it, and it's just like, and then they glamorize it. You get on YouTube doing it, and people are like, oh yeah, that's awesome or whatever, and it's not one of those things that everybody's like, oh, how dare you do that? Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't push people to it. Like it's a rebellion thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. And I was raised in a very Christian, very conservative household and stuff, and totally respect my parents and the way they brought me up and things like that. But I wish I would have had a little bit more understanding of how society really works, and how drunkenness looks, and how it's not as defiled as some people say it is, and like you can be proud and have victory and and just, you know, I did as you're having fun. Don't lose control, because you can lose control to anything.
Yep, exactly. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving. Okay, everybody say goodbye to Jasmine. She's leaving.
She's cute.
Have fun. She looks like her mama.
I'm cuter.
Yeah.
She looks like her daddy.
Well, I was gonna say that when she left the room, but okay, you're cuter.
We love that. But yeah, like I said, I was raised by an alcoholic. I was raised by a bartender mother who was cool with alcohol, drank alcohol. But that's my birth mother. I'm really close to her now. As a kid, they divorced when I was like in second grade, and I lived with my dad. There was 4 of us boys, and we split up. 2 lived with my mom, and 2 lived with my dad. And I lived with my dad, and he remarried to a very religious person. And so I grew up in that more than anything, probably the most impressionable time of my life. From let's say 4th grade until I was an adult, I lived in a house that was very religious. There was no drinking. My dad doesn't drink at all. Nowadays, he'll have one every once in a while. Have one drink, and it's kind of like just to say, yeah, okay, I'll drink. It's not that big a deal to me. But he just doesn't. He's never got into it. And when growing up, I've never seen him touch the stuff. And my stepmom was totally against it. And so she was very, very religious. Like we went to a Southern Baptist church, and they were Shakers, and they spoke in tongues, and they did the healing and all that. I went to that kind of church growing up, and so I'm still religious.
So did Brienne.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm trying to be careful to the line. I don't want to make fun of anybody's lifestyle or anybody's beliefs at all, because I totally understand, and I grew up believing in that. You know what I mean? Whereas now I question a lot of the human acts. I don't question the faith of it. I get the faith of it. I totally do. And I'm a believer. I definitely pray. I believe there is a higher power. And I accept that I don't know what that higher power is and which religion is more right than another religion. I don't know, and I don't try to know. I'm very much against a lot of organized religion because of some of the churches I went to that were really bad. Like we went to a church for years that the minister was a woman, and it was one of those churches, and she ended up we went to church one Sunday, and the doors were locked, and it was done. It was in like an office building where they had this church. It was a big area, and it was big enough for a church, but it was connected to other buildings. And we went there on a Sunday, and it's locked, its door lights are off. And apparently what ended up happening is she took all the church's money and moved to Florida and started a Christian radio station program. And just abandoned the church, and basically they were filing charges against her for taking money that were donation money. It was a horror story. We ended up in like a second floor of a barn with no air conditioning, having church every Sunday because some member said, I got a space that's big enough to hold us. Let's just keep this thing going. And it made me not, I don't take my kids to church. My kids believe in God, and I teach them about Jesus and things like that. But I'm not over religious, and I don't go to church. That's where I stand on it. I think, and I always say, churches can be a great thing, and there's some great ones out there. And I've had some great experiences with some churches, but they're not that easy to find these days. And you're taking a risk just going and hoping that this is a good one. And so that makes me nervous, especially once my kids start going to Sunday school and get involved. Because I know what that's like as a kid. It's a fun thing, and you get attached. And even if it's not such a good thing to get attached to, And so I think that, I teach my kids that their, relationship with their higher power is between them and their higher power, and that they don't need to take somebody else's rules. They don't need to take somebody else's unless they completely agree with it, unless they, you know what I mean?
I totally agree, dude. I mean, like, it's like if you go to a church and you start getting involved, pretty soon, if not later, what's probably going to happen is somebody's going to mess that up for you if you allow them to.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there that have their pants zipped down and they're peeing in everybody's Cheerios. And I'm just, it's really ruined my perception of the way church should be in my last 10 years. And I've had a really hard time connecting with anybody because I believe certain leadership and certain people associated with the establishment, if you will, they're afraid of people who can actually bring the love of Jesus into the church because their system just might be rocked just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we can't allow this church to be what the church is supposed to be. We need to have this boardroom meeting. We need to discuss, what we need to do. And we need to put signs over the urinals that say, flush the urinals, the elders. Or like, make sure you turn that light off before you leave, the elders. Or a church building that costs $1.5 million that for some reason or another has to have those huge spotlights that are taking up how much energy a month and stuff, when Jesus Christ walked 5 and 6 and 20 miles on leather straps as a human freaking being like everybody else did. And imagine him walking up to that empty building on Monday morning saying, what are you guys doing with that building? Well, it's staying ready for us for Wednesday night and also Sunday morning and Sunday night, because that's when we meet. But it's like, what are you using the house for? Are you using it for like, what are you doing here? You're paying money to my father, which is this God person, to keep a building air conditioned in the summer and heated in the wintertime, but only to meet three times a week. And you don't have anybody homeless living in there because they're too much of a hindrance to the system. I'm so sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've seen that. I dated a girl one time that went to a big church like that. I never really did a big one like that, but she did. She grew up going to one that was, the $1 million building. You know what I mean? That,
I hate it.
Had like 3,000 members or something insane, and horror stories. I never went with her. I never went with her family. I never tried out the church or nothing like that. But she told me about it, and horror stories. I mean, just crazy stuff that I'm like, this is a church. This is supposed to be like the thing that people go and I don't know. It just what I think a church should be, aside from the beliefs, aside from the shaker stuff or the speaking in tongues and all that, aside whatever you think about that, it should be a positive place for people to meet. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And when you're talking about stuff like that, it's like a show. It's like a concert. It's like you go and you get the message from this guy who's something that's special, and he's got the spotlights on him, and you either got the message or you missed it, and what are you doing with your life if you missed it? And it's like, well, where's the regular church stuff? I went and we had a water balloon fight, and we got to, make Noah's Ark, and all the fun stuff I did when I was a kid that was positive. It was like it was a fun thing to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, there's no fun.
There's
no fun in that. There was a church.
People holding their Starbucks cups in the air, praising Jesus with a Starbucks $5 latte and their Bible right there in the bench, because this what makes me feel good, not Jesus.
Right, because it ended up becoming, like, some churches, I think, end up becoming just a financial institute, just like a money business, and that scares the crap out of me. And there's a church near me I've thought about going to. Are you in the All Pro Dads program? You know what that is? All Pro Dads.
It sounds cool.
You should sign up. It's do you know who Tony Dungy is? He used to be the coach for the he's
a good guy.
Yeah, he started the program, and he's a Christian, and so it is Christian.
I'm trying to find a pen.
But you can go online and just sign up, and there's probably meetings near you. And my kids, they have them at their school, and when their old school didn't have them, but you could go to places that did have them in the city. But now they do it at their school. It's
got it.
Yeah, it's started by Tony Dungy, and they're all over now. And it's all about guys. It's a Christian program, but it's all about guys with kids. And you go and meet up with other dads, and you talk about what it's like being a dad, and you encourage each other. And it isn't too much religion in it at all, even though it's a faith-based thing. It's all about positive experiences with your kids. And so they'll have like meetings where you bring your kids and they feed you breakfast and everybody just, you know, have fun and play games and you answer questions and you do these fun little, you know,
Man, that's so cool.
it's neat. It's really neat.
Huh.
And so I got involved with it at the kids' school. I've known about it for a long time, but never really got into it. But now that they have it in my kids' school, they've been bugging me, Dad, you got to sign up. My friend's dad's doing it, and they're doing it, and I want you to come and be my dad at the All-Pro Dads Breakfast, and we get to go to school early and have these breakfast meetings and all this. And so I started doing it, and the guy that leads our school's program is a pastor at a church just down the street from me, and it's a very tiny country church, one room, chapel church, and he's a great guy. He's like probably younger than me. He's probably 30, 35 maybe. Rides a motorcycle and is just like a really cool dude, down to earth. You wouldn't know that he's a pastor at all if you met him in the street. He'd just be a nice guy, just super nice, regular.
Nice guy, yeah.
Yeah. And so he broke the mold of what I always grew up as, like the minister was, where they were always really assertive and powerful and they were telling you the truth, where this guy's kind of laid back and soft spoken and is just a really nice person. And so it made me think about going. But the main thing is, this is his job. Like after talking to him a while, I realized that being a pastor is his job, his full-time job. And that scares me a little bit because it became a business.
Yeah.
Like I know that when it comes to making videos, it's fun to me. It's why I do it. But I do videos that I don't want to do because of money. You know what I mean? I'll take a wedding.
Exactly.
I'll go do a wedding, and I know, and you're the same way. You love to do camera, but wouldn't you rather be going to the fair with your kid than going and filming someone else's wedding? I mean, but you'll do it because you got to make the ends meet, and you're good at it, so you got to do what you use your skills to make some money. He's using his money, and I know what it's like to get aggressive and to be like, you know, I want to be successful in business, and if that is his business, that scares me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I'm so there, dude. I'm so there. I do.
I mean, you know, I'm kind of on the fence with it. I've thought about going, and the kids have asked me, like, are we going to go to that guy, you know, church?
I mean, do the yes man for a couple days, you know?
Yeah.
Just do it.
I just feel bad if I walked out on it because I see him I'm still going to the All Pro Dads thing. He's not preaching to me there. We're having fun and talking about being dads and learning from each other and stuff like that. I love that. If his church is all about the same kind of deal where it's a positive thing and just meeting with the community and learning from each other and stuff like that, and that share the same faith, I'm all about it. But if I get there and it's a business for him, I'm going to walk out and feel bad every time I go to a meeting and have to see this guy. You know what I mean?
I'm so there.
So
yeah,
it's just kind of kept them separate.
I'm so there, dude. Where's everybody else at, dude?
I don't know. DJ Ian has popped in here for a minute, but I told my wife I'd only keep this to an hour, and it's right at an hour, so I'm going to have to end this thing soon anyway. But I didn't really advertise this one as much. I posted something on Instagram I think you seen and commented on, and I just posted on Facebook that I was live now. But you know, this is fun to me. I've thought about it. Like, I bet I could get 100 people in here if I really tried. But I don't really feel like trying.
You should, bro.
I'm just gonna, you know, they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. And I'm gonna have fun and have a drink and chat with my buddies. You know. This has definitely become more of a fun side of my YouTube page than let's try to get a bunch of views.
I just look forward to seeing you, man, and I hope to meet you soon. Really do. I really do.
Hey, I hope so too, man. I hope so too. Dude, I'm really excited. I've been flying the Mavic. I meant to talk about that a little bit today, so I guess before I end it, we'll talk about the drone.
Yeah. Look at that. It's a sexy thing.
I've had a crappy time flying it, though, I'll tell you. Just reminded me I need to log my last flight. I've been trying to log all my flights. I didn't do that with my last drone, but I'm trying to do it with this one, kind of keep track. But I've got 5 flights in with it, and I've only got 1 battery. I haven't bought an extra. I'll probably buy an extra or 2 soon, but right now I've just got the one it came with. And so each time I'm just flying, you know, 20 minutes or so. I usually don't even let it get to the point where it's 30% and blinking at me. I'll go for 20 minutes.
I hate that.
Yeah, But with really just trying to learn it, I'm like, what I want to do and the next test I want to test to try to get this thing exactly where I want it is going to take more than 20 minutes. So let's just go ahead and bring it down. We'll do it next time. It's lately how I've been. I haven't been flying the full capacity. But basically my biggest problem, and really the only problem with it, is really the first problem I had was I left that dome on, that plastic dome over the camera. I'm like, I really want that protected, especially with as low as it is to the ground when you land it. I don't want to hit that on nothing. I'm really nervous. And I'm like, I'm leaving that on. I know not to, but don't do it, to take it off, but I'm going to do it. Huge glare, right, the first flight, huge glare right across the lens, especially if I turned a certain direction. You can't leave that dome on. You're really risking not getting a shot because there was no way. I even tried trying to do a little bit more, maybe back this way, and that glare just moved a little bit. It was like, if I'm going to get the sunset, unless I'm facing away from the sunset, I'm getting the glare. So I've stopped flying with that. But the biggest problem I've had is every single flight, the app has crashed. The freaking Go app, the DJI Go app is garbage. The last time, my last drone, the one that got destroyed by the airport, it was doing the same thing to me then too. Like my last 10 flights with it, the app kept messing up. And I was to the point where I was about to buy the Litchi app, and I'm glad I didn't because the drone got messed up, and I would have to get the new Litchi app for the Mavic. And I'm still thinking about getting the Litchi app for the Mavic, but it's $25. I don't know if I want to spend the $25 if it's something I'm doing wrong. So I've been trying to change things. Finally, I found a post where somebody said, turn off your caching, which I've really been loving because the Mavic caches in 720. That's pretty good, especially if you're just going to upload a little something to Facebook to give somebody a teaser of your next video. I can just do it right on my phone. Oh, here's a clip of it instead of taking the memory card out, put it on my computer like I usually do. But they said turn that off and watch what happens, and they were right. Today I turned it off. I turned off caching. I cleared the cache, what it's already saved, and turned it off where it wouldn't cache anything to my phone, and it didn't crash at all. It did blink black for about 5 seconds and came right back. But what I was getting before was every single flight, the whole app would crash. It would turn black, and I couldn't even turn my phone off. It was getting hot, and I couldn't do nothing. It was froze up black. Couldn't see nothing. Now, luckily with the Mavic, you still have full control, and I love it. The controller does everything. It's telling me how high I am. It's telling me I just can't see what it's seeing, which is a big deal because you got to tap to focus. One time, I said, let's try it out tripod mode. Let's see how much it slows down when I put it in tripod mode. And then the app crashed. Now I'm stuck in tripod mode because the only way to get it out is with the app. The controller won't take it out of tripod mode. So now it's real far away from me. I mean, good 200 yards. And I'm trying to bring it back to me, and it's moving a freaking inch a second because it's in tripod mode. And while I'm sitting there trying to get the look out, I'm basically every time I have to completely shut it down. If it doesn't shut it down itself, I've done that a few times, or just the whole app crashed and is done, and you have to restart it. And then, or I try to crash it all the way, or restart it and open it back up, and then it'll reconnect, and then I'm good for a little while longer before it crashes again. And so it's been a pain. The drone works great. I love it. I'm in love with this drone, but the app has stopped me from doing just about anything. Like I said, you've got to tap to focus. You've got to use that app to change your flight modes. Basically, once it crashes on me, I'm like, okay, it's froze up. I got to wait for it to reload. I'm just going to fly around and pray that it's in focus because I can't keep seeing. I can fully control of it, and as long as you keep it in line of sight, you're not going to lose it. So I love that. But yeah, so today I got it. I think pretty much a full flight without it crashing because I turned off caching. Apparently that clogs up everything.
Hey, let the app crash, not the drone, right?
Please. But it drives me nuts, man. I think I'm going to do a review on a little video, like my first impressions of it from my first 5 flights or whatever. Oh, yeah. So I've got some great shots from some of those flights. Some of them not 2 of them I've gone to the same place. I travel for work, so I've been all over, and I'm like, I got some bridges, I've got some rivers, I've got some city scenes, and some of them look so beautiful. I love the 4K on the Mavic. It looks so good. But some
4K is sick.
Dude, it does great. It does great. And I've been looking up some tips. I think I'm going to get some ND filters because the sunlight definitely gets blown out real easy with the Mavic. I think some ND filters.
I got my eyes on that 4 though, that 4 Pro.
Man, it looks
I want
great.
that so bad, but I know I'm not going to.
I'll tell you, man. I almost got it. It was just a little bit too much money for me. Is the only reason I didn't. It was all my only decision by choosing the Mavic, over which I do love the portability and all that. But
Yeah.
But what it came down to, what's most important to me is the quality of the video, you know, and for the price, the 4 Pro has got it. I mean, the Inspire 2.
Oh yeah, dude.
The Inspire 2 has the exact sensor that the 4 Pro's got. You know, and that thing is like, what? How much is that thing? $2,500 or something nuts?
Oh, don't even go there. It's like 60. Oh man, like $6,500. I think it is with all the stuff and also the new lens and stuff. But
so I'm talking about bare bones, and then you got to get the license for the camera.
Oh yeah,
there's some kind of weird
ridiculous
license you get for the expensive camera on it. That just to edit the footage and use the to be able to edit the camera's files, you have to pay like a couple $100 for a license.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
But the Phantom 4 Pro has got that exact sensor. I mean, the quality is no better or worse than Inspire 2. It's the drone is a little better on the Inspire 2, but the camera, you can't get better than that for that price.
It's 60 frames per second. See, that's where I'm at. I'm really just, I need that, because you see a lot of drone videos and they'll be like, you can see them pieced together, especially the 24 frames per second.
Yeah.
The 60 frames per second, you have that fluid.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I would want to get it.
There's 2 things I've really gotten into that have improved my videos a lot lately, and one is 4K, and the other is shooting at 60 frames a second and slowing things down a little bit sometimes, especially when I'm filming people on the ground. Yes. My style is to film on the ground mostly. I'm not a huge drone dude. All my drone heavy videos, I like to add it in a little bit, but I'm mostly on the ground, and I put music to everything. So slowing things down is perfect for me to get that cinematic look.
Exactly.
But nothing I have can do both. I'm either shooting at 1080 at 60 frames a second, or I'm shooting at 4K at 30 frames a second. So even the Mavic doesn't get there. That 4K, that Phantom 4 Pro does, but I couldn't afford it, man. So you're
going to pay a hefty price for that 4K 60 frames per second. I know I did with that freaking GH5.
See, there you go. I was going to say with anything, even with the DSLRs and stuff, to get both is expensive. But man, if I could,
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Did you see the gimbal? I was showing it off earlier. This is my.
That's a sexy camera,
dude. It's that. This is that Lumix, Panasonic Lumix LX100. Remember we talked about this? You actually helped me to buy it. But yeah, this is the Zhiyun Crane M gimbal. This thing is sweet. It's got let me get it started first, but it's got a thumbstick on it, so I can fully control it.
Yeah.
Very hefty. The batteries last about 12 hours in the gimbal, and dude, it's 4K. This is my new rig that I'm gonna be using all the time.
Look at my stapler. here's the stapler.
Dude, hey, until I just got this thing.
I need to get one of those.
That's a hefty little tripod. What is that, a Joby?
Yeah, it's a fake Joby.
Yeah, well, dude, it looks
vlogging, you can,
Right, I use those all the time, those exact tripods, but none of mine are that hefty, dude. That looks nice.
Yeah, it's you can set it up to do things. You can do whatever. I like it. But I want that new Zhiyun Crane. Is it version 2?
Yeah.
I want to get that really bad, but
how much does that camera weigh? Because you might look at, dude, this is a little cheaper. The Crane M is a little cheaper than the Crane, and you look it up and look up what this thing will carry, and look up some YouTube videos, because I found a ton of YouTube videos where guys have put cameras heavier than what this thing says it will carry, and it works fine. Like they're kind of modest on the payload on this, and it's cheaper than the regular Crane, the version 2. It's actually, you'll save, I think, around $100 by getting one of these instead. And this one's way under, because it's just the mirrorless. What do you call it? I don't know.
Looks nice.
Yeah, it's a compact camera. So it's obviously way under. It's obviously way under. This thing will fit my. This is the cool part of this though, and I haven't done it yet. But this thing will fit my GoPro, my cell phone, this camera, my nice camera, and even my 360 Samsung, which I haven't tried yet. I'm kind of excited about. It'll fit every camera I've got pretty much because I don't have any serious DSLR. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got fixed lens Nikon, but even it's not that heavy because it's not a real DSLR. It's a bridge camera. But look at that. That's the GH5 right there.
Yeah.
Look up how much it weighs and see if it'll fit on one of these. Because I bet even if it's barely over, I bet you could find people using a GH5 with the Crane M, and we'll show you samples of it. Because I found like 4 or 5 videos where people are like, they were being modest on the weight limit because I put a camera on way over the weight limit, like, I don't know, 50 grams over the weight limit. It worked great.
It's 725 grams with battery and memory card. It's about 2.5 pounds, I would say, with the lens.
You said 725 without the lens?
Yeah.
I wonder what the Crane M's. I can't remember what the limit was. It might have been 6 something.
See, when I got the GH5, it was between the Mark II. Is that right? Sony. But see, the problem, the reason why I got the GH5 was because the A7R Mark II doesn't shoot in 60 frames per second at 4K. It's only 30 frames per second, and Sony hasn't released one that'll do that yet. Even the new A9 doesn't do that. So I was like, well, got to go with the GH5, and the only next step of camera that'll do 60 frames per second at 40 frames, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is the Ursa Mini, which is like it's 4.6K. It's about a $7,000. Not doing that. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're about to start
more. I mean, if
stuff like that, but I don't know, man. I'm getting tired of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but if they were able to do it with the GH5, more cameras are coming. You know what I mean? It's getting there where they can do it and still make it affordable. I hope.
Exactly.
But yeah, basically the Crane M says 650. It might be pushing it. I know it can go over that, but 650 grams.
I'm gonna type it down.
But I'm looking for it and see there. It's so close. When you type in Crane M, it's gonna pull up. And I typed in on YouTube. I typed in Crane M with the GH5, and there's a lot of them popping up that just say the Crane, because that's what a lot of people use for it. Because if you go buy
$600.
Yeah.
Well, I better go save my other 300 and put it towards something.
How much was the Crane version 2?
$649.
Ooh, see, you save more than that. I got this Crane M for $399.
Ah, you suck.
But I bought the Karma grip for $300, and I'm gonna sell it because I'm not using it anymore. I mean, that was my main thing, but I'm like, once I realized how light this Lumix LX100 was, and it's my best camera, I'm like, why do I have a gimbal for my GoPro and not for this?
Yeah, why do I have that if I don't want it, if I don't need it, right?
Right. I mean, it's like, I love getting smooth footage. I love using that GoPro on that Karma grip, but it's not my best camera. Yeah. I was switching back and forth between those 2 cameras, and I'm like, why do I not have this? It's so light. I just wasn't thinking when I got all that. So I think I'm going to sell the Karma grip and basically pay back almost all of what I spent for this one.
Cool.
What'd you catch?
I think I'm in trouble.
Oh, you had that look on your face.
Am I okay? Okay. I thought Brian was mad at me.
Are you mobile? I thought you was on a computer.
Yeah, I'm mobile.
I thought you was on a
I'm walking around the house with my phone.
Nice.
Yeah, we just moved in this new house, man.
How you like it?
It's pretty cool. You want to go on a tour?
Yeah, let's do that real quick before I end this thing.
Yeah. Here's the. She says no.
She said no. That's how my wife is. The house is a mess.
She says it's a mess.
Yeah, that's exactly what my wife says. The house is a mess. It could be like
Don't show my house. It's dirty.
Yeah, there could be a cup out of
Well,
place.
here's the kitchen though. Quick, go through. Here we go.
Dude, it looks.
Here's my favorite painting ever, dude. Check this out. What do you think that is?
Daniel.
Yes.
I like that.
Love that.
Very realistic.
Yeah. Like, look at the eyes. The eyes are terrified, not because of Daniel. Daniel's not the moral of the story. It's what's behind Daniel. He's like, here's our new kitchen. Our kitchen's pretty cool. We got some stickers at 3 inch closet. Signs on our table. It's crazy, dude. This is happens to me. It's crazy, man.
Dude, it looks great, man. It looks like a nice place.
I'm proud that we've been working a long time to have a place that we're like. The last house that we were in, Cracker Jack box.
I think you put your hand over the speaker or the microphone.
What's that?
I think you put your hand over the microphone.
Are you good?
Yep, I heard you. I just barely hear you. It was like got all muffled all of a sudden.
It's because I'm so fat, dude.
Fat fingers. Can't keep it off the mic.
Look at this though, brother. Look at that.
Peppers and maters.
I got a garden behind the house. It doesn't see. My past neighbor had a garden and I inherited it. It's over there.
Wow, nice.
Ain't that crazy? Freaking garden, dude.
Now, if you can make it grow tomatoes and peppers next year, then you'll be doing some good things.
Bravo. What, baby? What I do? No one needs shoes. I haven't seen them. Let's go look for Noble shoes. Which ones does he need? Does he need Adidas?
Anything.
You don't have shoes. Okay, here's the bedroom. Shh. I didn't show him the bedroom. I didn't show anything. We gotta have you guys down here. Like, come on down and like. My bad. Yeah, I can't find anything. So, dude, I should probably go.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this thing now anyway. I appreciate you joining and chatting with me, man.
Yeah, man, for real, dude. It's always a pleasure. You know that.
Yeah, for real. Can't wait to meet up with you one day, dude. It's gonna be soon.
Hey, we got an extra 2 beds in the house, man. Bring your family down.
All right. Hey, we love Tennessee. Like I said, my wife was born there, so we like to head down there once in a while. So hopefully we'll get down there soon and see you.
Come home, brother.
All right, man.
Take care, my man.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining the live stream, Friday Night Live. We had a lot of fun. We'll see you guys all next time. Peace.